and you're going to have a powder. Yes, now we are live. I think YouTube itakuwa imechelewa kidogo with some few seconds, so we can start. Hope you can hear me well.
Yes.
So today we are going to be doing a live about off-road, and that's what you're going to be talking today about. And I hope everyone is ready with their questions. So I am Maximilian, or say as Shmateo Meru, and today our guest is Josepeter. Then today we have our second host, who is Makbul Vlogs. Kindly subscribe to his YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and share. And so today we are going to be talking to Josepeter, who is 4x4 event organizer and off-road enthusiast. So I'll leave him to introduce himself. Yes. Josepeter.
Hello.
Repeat the question, Max. I think imebafa kidogo.
Okay, so I am saying I'm going to leave Josepeter to introduce himself and what he does.
All right. Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Josepeter. I'm a off-roader and an enthusiast and a trainer. I'm also do events, Josepeter events. I also teach music as a job, and happy that I'm here with you today. Asante.
Okay, thank you. Makbul, I hand over it now to you.
Thank you so much, Maximilian, for inviting me to your live. And Josepeter, it's also nice to meet you around this platform. I understand that you're an off-roader guru in this part of trucks and having big cars. Expect a lot of questions from us, and I hope everything in the show will be nice.
Definitely.
Yes, now the first question that I'm going to ask Mr. Josepeter, and they've already been sent on WhatsApp and on Instagram. The first question is, what does 4x4 off-road challenges entail?
Okay, great. That being our first question, 4x4 basically means you have a vehicle that has the capacity of towing, or rather pulling itself with the front tires and the rear tires. So a 4x4 doesn't mean, for example, you have a Pro Box which pulls itself with the front wheels. You have a Pro Box that comes with the front diff and the rear diff, so that it activates the front tires and the rear tires, which are going to be pulled by the engine. So that is what we talk about. We call 4-wheel drive, and it doesn't have to be a big car. It can be a small car. It can be a tractor. It can be any car, so long as it has all wheels active. Yes, and that is what we talk of 4x4. Then again, when you talk of 4x4, whatever it entails means you might have a car that can go into the forest. The complexity, how the car can handle a terrain. So let's assume you're having a Pro Box that you used to go to Shago. That Pro Box can be used as a 4x4 if it trains the normal roads, that is the normal terrain. That vehicle is used as a 4x4, so it will tackle that terrain. But again, not very, very hard obstacles or a hard terrain like say a Land Cruiser. So it again it depends on the type of terrain we are talking about here. Yes.
So you say you don't discriminate any car as long as it's a 4x4?
Yes, we actually don't discriminate any car, because any car can perform depending on the obstacle. Yes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think Makbul got a question from there. Now the second question is that
Yeah.
how long have you been involved in this overall event and stuff and this kind of organizations?
All right. I have been in 4x4 for quite a long time. I'd say over 15 years. First of all, 4x4 is a passion. I remember I loved the Land Cruiser 80 when I was young. I think around 7 years and about. I loved the Land Cruiser. I also came to love the Land Rover. I came to love the Suzuki. So I always loved, seeing vehicles getting stuck. I always loved pushing the vehicle. So as time went by, I loved 4x4. I just started becoming involved. Then I bought my first 4x4 vehicle, which I could just go off road. Any place could be off road. So long as I find a big trench, I could dip it inside there. And over time, the passion grew and grew and grew. So I've been in 4x4 for over 15 years.
So do you participate as well in the 4x4? You just organize the event?
Well, participating, yes.
Have you ever
Depending,
participated ever in your 15 years of off-roading?
yes, I have. Yes, I have participated. And for me to be an organizer, I first started with participating. And participating again has its own challenges because you really have to build your car. And over time, you actually come to learn several things. And again, you have the limit of cash. So with the passion I've had to mentor so many people. And that's how I found myself as an organizer.
Oh, very well, very, very well.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, I can see 15 years in off-roading. What?
Yeah.
Hata siongei.
Ni miaka mob jo.
Mingi sana.
Wacha tusiulize ni wa miaka ngapi eh?
Miaka ni ya Mungu.
Miaka ni ya
Miaka
Mungu
ni ya
eh?
Mungu
Miaka ni ya
wenyewe.
Mungu. God akikubless amekubless.
Yes, yes.
But
Kweli.
I'm still young.
So,
Yeah.
so swali that question. So how many times do you hold these events or yes?
All right. 4x4 events are very tricky. First of all, it actually depends on the location. Like, for example, and actually the time of the year. When schools close, wakati mashule yanafungwa, most of the time is when we have the 4x4 event. That is the April holiday. You know, schools close season. That is where we have basically the main event. So let's assume you're having an event in Nairobi. For example, if you have an event in Champagne Park, for example, we'll have 3 events in a year or 4 events in a year. If we go to a place like Charana, we also have the same. We also have like 4 events in a year. If you go to a place like maybe Nandi or Mount Elgon or any other place, it actually depends. So events are not annual. It's not one event per year. So we can have a stretched out event. We can have 4 events in a year. So it doesn't have to be only one event. Yes. So in this case, events are actually, we have to spread out events. So basically, the challenges that we usually get is mobility, and we have to move from one point, from point A to point B. So, for example, we had a challenge. We had concurrent events, like let's say 3 weeks and 4 weeks ago. We had concurrent events whereby we had an event in Meru, we had an event in Mount Elgon, and that is basically a challenge. And plus, considering what is the pandemic that is ongoing right now. So in this case, events are always spread out in the course of the year. So we have 4 events. Let's say, for example, in Charana, we have 4 events. We talk of our Champagne Park, we have 4 events. Offroad Explorers, we have several events. Mount Kenya Offroaders, we have several events. It actually depends on where, but again, not only once per year. Yes.
So, Makbul, the next question I think will be coming from you.
Can you see me? Oh yeah, yeah, we are back. We are back. So I think what he has said so far is really encouraging. And the next question I would really like to ask is: Do you do you deal with corporate companies that support the off-roading, or do you just do freelance off-roading?
All right, that's a very good question, by the way. When we talk of corporate, it actually, we have several different types of events, by the way. Maybe let me talk about it first of all before I talk of the corporate. So we have the competitions, and then we have drives. And in the drives, you might have drives which are, you do fun drives, or you do a community empowering event or a drive. So in this case, if it's a challenge whereby magari yako kubwa inakuja inaingia kwa mashimo, that is competition. Sawa sawa.
Yes.
That is competition. So that is whereby if you have a corporate group or a corporate company, that's where now they come in and market whatever they do. If
so
we say,
you don't approach them, you wait for them to come?
No, you might approach to sell your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you will approach them to sell your idea.
Yes.
I hope you're getting me.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, you will approach them to sell your idea, and again they'll come on board to to tell you what they can offer. You see. So in this case, let's talk of say we talk of the forest industry where they'll come in and give you trees, and
I think
there are
your
other.
camera is off.
Sorry
We
for
can
that.
see.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm back online. So
Yeah.
so the corporates are going to come in and let's assume you have people who are like Always, for example, Always pad sanitary towels for ladies. They are going to come in that event as corporate so that they can either distribute free sanitary towels for the girls, and others will come in because of water. That's the corporate event. That's where the corporates come in. So again, we have the normal drives that again we usually do, like for Offroad Explorers, whereby we might go out on Sunday for fun. That's a fun drive. Then there's the one we make an event that empowers the community. We go and plant trees. So in this case, we might get maybe Standard Chartered Bank, we might get the Equity Bank, we might get any other outside there, Pegada Paint, we might get Meta, we might get Josepeter Events itself, who are coming in and chipping in something so that we can buy trees, we can build toilets for the schools, we can also buy books for the children in that community, we can buy food, we can buy clothes and such things. That's where now we come in with the corporates. They help us, they chip in something, and we are able to help the community.
So it's the off-roading is all in a good cause. You either plant trees or you give. It's a good cause.
Yes, definitely it's a good cause. But again, as much as it's a good cause, it's still fun for people like us. It's actually real fun because you get to either plant trees, you get to help the community, and after you do all that, you still have your drive, you still have your challenge. So you help these people, and you also get fun. Yeah.
So, Josepeter.
Yes, please.
We are going, I think you're now going to answer one question asked by people joining in the live, and I'm going to show it right now. Can you see the question?
All right. What if an accident
happens?
What
if an accident happens to the fan? Who is responsible?
That's a very good question. Now, the first thing I need you to know is that when we do motorsport, safety comes first. It's in rare occasions that, or rather, it's very unfortunate if an accident happens. But basically, what usually happens, we usually put tapes, marking tapes that are marked, that demarcate, or rather show that this is the boundary that you're not supposed to cross this boundary. So if a vehicle is coming, if you're behind the tape, you are safe. If by any eventuality or rather unfortunately that one gets hit or touched by a car, we always have an ambulance close by that is going to attend. But it's in rare cases that kind of an accident can happen. It's very rare, but we always say safety first. Now, I'm going to say this: we always get so many challenges in these events. For example, as you can see in the screen, this is one of the person I had in one of the events I was in, and you really have.
I think he looks familiar. He looks familiar.
Yes. Now, you see, the biggest challenge I usually get is to tell these people to move back. You can see me in the t-shirt there. Yes, that is Shmateo doing their good work. Shmateo, we are so proud of you. And I'm so proud. As you can see, our people, that is me there working in the field. And it is this like as you can see, my good friend here, he was actually trying to argue. And we really get a lot of challenges when people don't want to move back. We cannot flag off a vehicle into the track. We cannot flag off a vehicle. As you can see, kuna bendera. Kuna watu wanainua bendera ya red for your safety. Kuna ya green na ya red na ya white. Kuna bendera mara 4. Ukiangalia bendera ya red, kama kuna mtu amekaa kwa track, si unaona huyo ameonyesha bendera ya red na green. Akiinua bendera ya green, it means that kuna mtu kwa track, hiyo gari haifai kuingia kwa hiyo track. Wakati atainua bendera ya green, inaonyesha kwamba hiyo track yote ni clear, gari inaweza pita. You can see the two flags, kuna hiyo ya red na kuna hiyo ya green. So in this case, safety inakujanga first. But again, I usually urge our people to always keep back and wanakaa the other side of the tape. Even me myself, it's in rare circumstances or occasions that ninaingianga kwa hiyo track wakati kuna gari. And what happens, I either get into that track wakati naona watu wanajaribu kucriss-cross na kuna gari kwa sababu once the vehicle has started moving, it never stops moving. So in this case, we are very careful when it comes to safety. We take care of our people, tunaangalia watu, and tunasemanga hivi, when we come into motorsport, whoever is getting hapo kwa hiyo track, tunamwambia anything that happens is upon you, kwa sababu tumeweka safety guidelines zetu, tumeweka hiyo kamba vizuri.
True.
Yeah,
Yes.
so wakati mtu atajaribu kuruka hiyo kamba na bendera imeshawekwa green, it means that the track was clear. Wakati track iko red, we cannot start. It means that either kuna mtu ana criss-cross ama the track is not clear. So no one is going to tell us that we are to blame there. And I'm telling you, hakuna time we can flag off a vehicle.
Josepeter?
Yes? You're getting me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, so we cannot flag in a vehicle to get into track if there's a person any. Umeelewa,
Josepeter, yeah.
Yes.
Alafu, do you have any kind of forms or that the drivers should fill so that to show for anything that happens, they'll be the ones to take care of everything? Like any form or any application that they should fill?
Yes, now that's a very good one. So we call that a disclaimer form. We have a disclaimer form. So if there's a driver who wants to participate in this kind of event, we give them a disclaimer form. Unajua gari inaweza anguka na iumize mtu, si ndio? So hiyo gari iko na kitu inaitwa insurance, si ndio? You'll always go back to your insurance and probably claim. Ni sawa sawa. But as
Yes.
for us, we have to give proper and clear instructions that wakati unaingia kwa hii event, it is strictly iko any risk ni yako, everything under your own risk. Ni sawa? Kwa sababu what
Yeah.
happens in between, for example, wakati tuna flag off gari ianze kuenda, at the entrance starting point tunaangalianga kama umefunga seat belt, tunaangalia kama uko na helmet, tunaangalia kama gari yako iko na roll cage and something. Sawa sawa. So unapatanga huku katikati, wakati gari inacheza mtu anatoa safety belt. Sawa sawa. Na sisi tulishaangalia safety belt huko wakati tukianza. So if someone ametoa safety belt, uko mbele hatutajua. Sawa. Wakati gari inaweza anguka, we are not to blame, kwa sababu tunaangalia gari kabla ianze.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is a disclaimer from that people sign in this regard.
Okay, then the next question from our viewers. Okay, so let me screen it. So who are the main sponsors in this event?
Okay, who are the main sponsors now? Sponsorship actually depends on the type of event. Sawa sawa. For example, if you come to we have an event this coming Saturday, ya kupanda miti. So in this case,
Kibaranyaki?
event,
Is it Kibaranyaki?
yeah, you've heard of it, is it?
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
In Gizongo.
we'll be there. We will be there.
So in this kind of an event,
Yeah, Shmateo, make sure you get good content, bro. Oh, okay, go on,
Yeah, we
Josepeter.
will.
No, Shmateo gives us good product videos.
Yeah. You know we are far away now. We expect him to get the content.
I'm telling you, the last time they did a very good video,
Yeah.
I can't say kitu, but Shmateo keep it up, You guys are
Yes.
doing good work.
Thank you.
So let me get back to the question, So nimeulizwa who sponsors an event, si ndio? Haya, I'm going to talk of this coming up event ya Mount Kenya Offroaders. So hii event ni ya kupanda miti, si ndio? Wenye wanakuwa involved sana, yes, that is Shmateo Production, one of the best ninawapenda sana. They do quality job, tunapenda Shmateo. So wakati tunaenda kupanda miti, the first one you should involve ni Kenya Forest. Si ni kweli? Kwa sababu
Yes.
basically tunaenda kupanda miti, si ndio? And then unapata sponsors wengine wanakuja kwa sababu ya kitu kama maji. You need to give people water, si ndio? So again, unaenda una involve county. You can involve the county so that maybe they come in and assist in maybe buy trees and you're getting. So the sponsors all depend on the type of event you have. Kwa sababu kama ni event yenye ya competition, of course hao wanakuja kujiuza. If it's a competition, like for example Charana, si ndio? They are going to come wajaribu kujiuza. So hiyo ni tofauti na hii yenye watu wanaenda kupanda miti na kuempower community. Sijui kama hapo umeelewa.
Ile tulisema in for a good cause.
In for a good cause, yes.
Yes, yeah.
In a depends, yes. And that is why I'm saying it actually depends on the type of event ambayo umepanga. You're getting, And again, you can see, for example, that is Offroad Explorers, and that is me. And that is actually...
You're the one with the mic?
Yes, I am the one with the mic. Unaona hapo kuna red flag. You see the red flag,
security.
You see that red flag?
Yeah.
Umeona hiyo red flag? Ndio hiyo gari itoke ipite, ni kumaanisha kulikuwa na flag ya green. You see,
Yes.
Yes. Now, in this case, this is what happens. Any person who is a sponsor, wakati watu wanakuja hivyo, anajiuza. Anajiuza. Either anaweka bana yake hapo, ama backdrop, ama whatever wanaweka hapo, so that wajiuze. So, inadependingi sponsor anakuja kufanya kazi gani. The main aim and whatever they want to achieve. by the end of that
But
particular.
the main question was, do you get something from these sponsors? I mean, these sponsors, since when do we organize an event?
Oh, yes, we actually do. We actually do. Sorry if I had drifted kidogo. So we usually get something from sponsors kwa sababu, you know, making an event is quite expensive. It's quite taxing, it's
Yeah.
expensive na ni ngumu at times. So wanaweza kuwa wana chip in something. It actually all depends on the type of kama for example, you can see Offroad Explorers hizo reflector wamevaa. In Charana, Offroad Explorers ili provide marshals. Sawa. So in this case, unaona it's quite expensive to make an event by yourself. So you need sponsors wakuja wakuchipin something so that you are able kutengeneza the event as a success. Yes. Sijui kama nimejibu hiyo.
Umejibu vizuri
Okay,
kabisa.
imejibiwa vizuri. Tumeona vile safety measures ziko sawa. Signing of umeniambia inaitwa what is it called? You have mentioned it right now. The form.
What?
The form before you.
Oh, the disclaimer.
Yeah, the disclaimer. Yes. So the next question: what are the categories of these specific challenges, and what do they contain in these challenges?
Good. Now, categories zinakuanga mara tatu. We have the beginner category, we have the intermediate category, and then we have the expert category. So maybe I have to elaborate one by one. Sawa. Hiyo gari unaona hapo on screen, it's a Suzuki. That vehicle is in the beginner category. Hiyo gari haiko modified. Modification haijawekwa mavitu mingi. Ile imewekwa maybe tu ni miguu and it's a normal 4x4. Ile unaweza tembea nayo kwa barabara bila any modification. Si unaiona vile inakaa? In fact, the same case applies to the white pickup that ilikuwa inapita hapo. Hiyo gari inaweza tumika kwa any terrain. Ukienda nyumbani, ukienda ushago, kwa barabara. That is a car used for the beginner. Sawa sawa. Now, that car is not modified. Beginner category haina challenges ngumu. You are getting me, Beginner category doesn't have a very difficult challenge. Hiyo gari unaona hapo now, that yellow vehicle, that is the expert category. But now before I come to the expert category, allow me to talk of the intermediate category.
So do you choose cars for beginner and expert categories, ama what happens?
Very good. Now what happens for the vehicle to be in any stage in this case, mwenyewe akikuja ndio ana choose. Mwenyewe akikuja ndio anasema mimi nitaweka gari yangu beginner. Mimi nitaweka gari yangu intermediate. But let me tell you, gari ya beginner category haiwezi cheza expert category. Kwa sababu unaona hiyo gari unaona hapo, that red, we call it the Bigfoot. It actually belongs to this one. So that Bigfoot vehicle haiwezi cheza kwa beginner kwa sababu ikienda kwa beginner inaenda tu ni kama hakuna any challenge. That is an expert category vehicle. You are getting, That Unimog you see there, that is Unimog. It belongs to one Mr. Kanyari. So that vehicle hawezi peleka. Yes. Hiyo gari hawezi peleka kwa beginner kwa sababu it's too modified. Imewekwa miguu kubwa, iko na shock absorber kubwa, iko na deflocks, and hiyo gari hakuna challenge haiwezi. And you can see someone alikuwa anajaribu pia kupanda as an expert, kutembea kwa miguu. It was such a very big challenge. Watu wakamchekelea. Yes.
Yeah, and what I'm asking about being fair, from what I remember during Charana, as you can see from this part,
yes,
people were complaining when you wanted to add water on the ground, but yet for the first vehicle, you did not add water. But this second time for the other cars, for the Bigfoot, you wanted to add more water, and why the people were complaining a lot. So how do you deal with this stuff, and how fair is it?
Okay, now I'm going to say this, with all with being fair. The first vehicle that tried to go up that hill was, there was water. There was water that was flowing down. Sawa. So what happened in that challenge was when the second vehicle started to come up, the water was removed. I like being fair. Sawa. There's no way you could let water imwagike kwa hiyo magari ingine, imwagike kwa gari ya kwanza na ya pili hakuna maji. So in this case, when people really want, scream tuongeze maji, I don't move with that kind of an emotion. But I move with the reality that the challenge must be performed as it was planned. For example, that challenge going up the hill, the challenge was the hill must be watery. The hill is so challenging, must be so watery. That is why kulikuwa na maji. But again, water was not supposed to be in excess. So in this case, when the crowd still shouts, maji tuongeze, it's a competition. I always tell people, it's a competition. It is played by men. It is a game played by men. So in this case, controlling the crowd is you have to stand with your ground. Unajua vizuri, it is a competition. You have to respect the rules that you laid down wakati kila mtu anaanza event. The driver is the competitor, sio spectators, kwa sababu driver akijaribu kumanipulate event na kukua na crowd, inaitwa kukua na crowd bullying, what happens? You are going to be disqualified. You're getting. So you'd rather being as a driver ukue neutral and listen to what the judges and the COCs wanakuambia, because you end up losing marks when maybe unajaribu kufanya crowd kuapplaud na maybe something wrong. You are getting my point, eh?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So, the next question from our people, yes, I think you answered that. What is your next big event as Offroad Explorers? We are really looking forward to this.
Our next big event?
Yes.
No, yes, on this past Sunday, we had a very good event. It's too unfortunate that maybe I've not told the public due to COVID and what have you. What I usually do is I usually respect our off-road brothers. So in this case, by the end of the year, Offroad Explorers is going to have drives, but not a competition kind of a thing. Reason being, I hope you can see me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you and see you.
All right. So in this case, Offroad Explorers, thank you. So Offroad Explorers itself will have drives, but not the competition themselves. Reason being, there are so many competitions in between now and December. So we work together in unison with our brothers. We work together with Charana, Nandi, Mount Elgon, Champagne, and the others. So we don't bring because we have to work together, because we are using the same people, the same cars. Ndizo zinatoka hapa, zinaenda Meru, zinaenda Mombasa, zinaenda Nandi. I hope you're getting me, yeah? Yes, so in this case, Offroad Explorers itakuwa tu na drives, but haitakuwa na competition. That is where Offroad Explorers stands as per now. Yes.
Okay,
Makbul, next question from you.
Yeah, I think what he has said so far is really, really nice. Anafanya hata wale wapendi mambo za off-roaders wazipende. My next question to Mr. Josepeter. You have been doing events, you have called people. How many people have you called? Ni wangapi umeita kwa event yako na walikuwa watu wengi, and that event was a success to you and ulifurahia sana? Which is the best event that you have ever organized and you liked it?
Okay. I will say this, vile wakati umeenda vile time imekuwa ikienda, the more we move, the more I call for events, the more people turn out, But the trick here is after COVID came, I stopped every big event in Offroad Explorers. I remember the last event that Offroad Explorers had. We were around close to just a simple drive. We were around close to say 100 people. Yeah, that was just a drive. For the last competition we had was in Magadi. We had again say 100 to 150 people. So our events have been a success, lakini ile shida imekuja tangu COVID ikuje, niliacha kuweka events. In fact, wakati events zilifunguliwa na rais, that is the time we have started doing drives. But hapo katikati, people were asking me, can we do events? But again, we have to respect the government. So in this case, Offroad Explorers, like for example, the drive we had this past Sunday, I believe we were around 30 to 40 people observing COVID, hiyo mambo ya Ministry of Health. And in this case, let me say nimekuwa the last two. The first one was in the park, and the other one was in Magadi. So that is now for Offroad Explorers, and ilikuwa mzuri na ilikuwa na watu wengi sana. Of course, so many people. I usually do one-on-one call na hao watu wanakuja, and people actually, when I shout, I give a call, people usually turn out because I'm an organizer. I know the serious people, the people who are not serious. Again, kuna wale watu wanataka kukuja na hawana magari. Hawa watu will always accommodate them. Nawaambia kujeni, nitawatafutia gari yenye mtaingia. Yes.
Yes, so I hope it's good that we have had your using the Ministry of Health instructions that you have been given in your events. Na I hope pia ingine ya Mount Kenya Kibara Nyaki mtatumia the same rules, which means your event will be good to go.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's nice.
Hiyo lazima, unajua we have to follow the ministry's rules, so that we pia kuwa na tunafuata sheria ya serikali. It's very important.
Over to you, Shmateo.
So there's a video I'm looking for. There's a question which I want to ask about, and I'm just looking for it. We had posted it here. I found it. Yes. So on during the Lukenya Day, there was forest fire, and thanks to the ministry or the government, or you guys looking for a fire engine that was on standby. As you can see, there was a fire. As you can see from the clip.
Was the fire from cars or from?
So from what I got to hear is that there was someone who was doing some. They were cooking. Yeah, they had carried their jikos and stuff. So makaa ikaanguka chini, then the dry grass kashika moto sasa. So the risk was if the cars now starting blowing up everywhere and stuff. Now, yes. Okay, so Mr. Josepeter, how has COVID affected you, and what kind of measures are you putting in?
Okay. Now, in this case, when COVID came, sorry, let me. I'm taking a good position. Nilikuwa change position because I'm charging my gadget. So in this case, when COVID came, yes, all right. I don't know. Great. So anyway, when COVID came, we actually had to stop all events. We had to stop all the events that we were doing. Reason being, in actual sense, I remember we actually did the last event, the last 4x4. Offroad Explorers was the last group to do a 4x4 event when COVID came, and that was dated. That was March 8th. It was actually the last Sunday, March 8, 2020, this year. So in this case, when COVID came, we stopped going out. We stopped having crowd. We no longer do crowd off-road. And since it was announced that maybe events can be done, this time round we have minimized our crowd, and every person who comes into the ground or the place to participate, every person must have a mask, must wash their hands. And in this case, we are really careful. We always tell people msisalimiane, na mkono. Ile fun watu wanakuwa nayo, we try to minimize for the sake of our safety, for the sake of their safety. So in this case, COVID has really affected us kwa sababu we have had to minimize so many events in this case. Yes. I hope mnanisikia.
Mr. COVID aliamua kuharibu kila kitu.
COVID has affected everybody in the country, ba.
Yeah? It may affect everyone, everybody, kila mahali.
I will tell you that the last time tulifanya off-road ile, a real off-road, was in March 8. March 8 ndio tulifanya the real off-road drive. And the off-road tulifanya challenges zilikuwa za around June. You are getting, kwa sababu by then hakukuwa na restriction. By then hakukuwa tena mambo mingi, unlike right now. So in this case, vile COVID ilikuja, we actually had to minimize the events. Sahi, as you know vizuri, right now a 5-seater vehicle cannot carry 5-seater vehicle. 5 people. You have to minimize to either 3. Sindio? That means hata ile capacity ya hiyo gari, even if it's a 7-seater, utaenda na watu 7, utaenda na watu 4.
So, ni fair tu itapanda.
Imeenda exactly. So in this case, everything has actually changed na kila kitu imebadilika. Since the time COVID came, mambo yote ili change. Yes. Yeah.
Tutarudia tena Mr. COVID.
Yeah, Mr. COVID.
So we've already asked the question of how one can be able to join, and so the most complex courses that are in the country.
Sorry, come again?
The most complex courses in the country.
The most complex courses in the country. A very good question. Now, the complexity of the challenge depends on the type of vehicle that you have. For example, actually, hold the camera there exactly. I can see my good friend, Mr. Brian and Shmateo. That is the Shmateo crew doing their thing. And I'm so happy because of Shmateo. You guys have made me so proud. Umefanya kazi nzuri. So the most complexity of a challenge actually depends on the type of vehicle you have. I'll give an example as we talk. Let's assume nimeenda mahali kwa barabara iko na marame ambayo imechimba kidogo na tractor. Nikienda na gari inaitwa Probox. Hata kama hiyo Probox iko na 4-wheel, inaweza enda ipate mawe kubwa kabisa ishindwe kupita. Okay? Naweza enda na gari kama Land Cruiser ama Land Rover kwa the same na ipite hata haita feel anything. So complexity of the challenge actually depends on the modification of the vehicle. Ukienda Lukenya utapata mawe kubwa kabisa. So in this case, siwezi personally with my KZG Land Rover Offroad Explorers, siwezi jaribu kuruka hizo mawe za Lukenya na Land Rover yangu because I'm going to break it. Because the rocks there are so big. Sawa, we call it rock crawling. As you can see, those vehicle unaona hapo kwa screen. Hizo magari ni magari ziko modified kabisa. Ziko na miguu kubwa kabisa. Ziko na roll cage. Hiyo gari hata ikianguka haiwezi umiza mtu. Viti zake zinaitwa bucket seats. Hiyo gari hata ikiroll umefunga mshipi such that hiyo gari hata ikitingika kidogo wewe hauaffectiwi. gari ita roll and you are going to be okay. Unaona hiyo roll cage, that is actually the white jeep. That white jeep imeundwa in a way that ina flex. It can actually, mguu yake ya nyuma inaweza simama at a 90 degrees angle, wakati hizi za mbele zimesimama zote zimekanyaga chini. Ya nyuma isimame straight na za mbele zimekaa imelalia zote mbili kwa barabara. So the complexity of the challenge depends on the type of vehicle you have and the modification you have. Hiyo gari naruka mawe, I cannot, hizo zinaitwa it is using portal axle, so iko na a lot of clearance. When you go to Champagne Park, for example, wakati unakimbia Champagne Park, if you want to do a challenge in Champagne Park, let's assume you want to do an intermediate category challenge, ukienda na gari ya kawaida hautaweza kufanya intermediate. So complexity ya challenge depends on the type of vehicle you have, the type of modification umefanyia gari yako. So in this case, complexity, the challenge depends on the type of vehicle you have and the obstacle you are going to tackle. Usiende kufanya rock crawling. Rock crawling ni hiyo tumeona hapo kwa screen, wakati unaona gari inapanda mawe. Hauwezi enda kupanda mawe na miguu za kawaida. Hizo gari unaona hapo, hauwezi enda kupandisha gari yako kwa hizo mawe wakati miguu tu. Gari yako iko na miguu za ofisi, haiwezi perform. So you need to make sure uko na shock absorber mzuri. You need to make sure uko na miguu ziko na grip mzuri, so that wakati utaingia kwa hiyo challenge, it will not be a real challenge for you. It will just be a walkover. You can see that deep. Unaona hizo miguu, just pause on that. Hizo miguu umeona hapo. Yes, ziko na a very good grip. So ukijaribu kuingia kwa hiyo obstacle na hiyo miguu, hiyo gari inapenya. So it's not really a big challenge as nikileta gari haina miguu ambazo ziko na hiyo grip. So challenges actually depend on the type of vehicle the modification you have done to your vehicle and the type of challenge you want to try, you want to actually attempt. So that is how the challenges, to me, that is how I might define a challenge for a 4x4. Yes. Sijui kama umenielewa hapo.
Nimekupata kabisa.
Yes. So challenge, it's not about the, I'm going to tell you one thing. Kuna wakati nilitoka na gari yangu nikaenda mahali, a very simple place, palikuwa na red soil. Nilienda nikang'ang'ana, gari yangu ikakwama. Sawa sawa. And do you know why? Sikuwa nimedeflate miguu yangu. When your PSI is too high, miguu zako zinakosa grip. Sawa sawa. So that was a very big challenge for me. Gari yangu ililala kwa msitu, ililala kwa kichaka. I had to take my Land Cruiser, nikaenda kwa kichaka the next day kwa sababu ilikuwa na winch kufanya nini? Kuivuta. You are getting my point? That was way back, I think around 8 years ago, 8 years, 9 years ago, kitambo kidogo. So the challenges actually depends on the modification you have done, how the type of tires you have, and the obstacle you want to tackle. Yes.
That's very well.
Yeah.
I think I'll go to the next question. Shmateo is mute. Let me ask the next question.
Yeah. You can ask the next question.
What do those people that win the events? Definitely, there's going to be a number 1, 2, 3. What do they get? Since you're the one who organizes the events, what do these people get after they win? Because I know definitely if I bring my car and it's number 1, I expect something from the organizers.
Yes. Okay, now it's a very good question. Now we are talking about the challenge, sindio? Tunaongea mambo sasa ya challenge. So wakati tunaingia kwa hizo mashindano, in every category, beginner, intermediate and expert, there's always an award. Kuna kuanga na trophy. Sawa sawa. Kuna kuanga na trophy, the first, the second, and the first, the second, and the third. Sawa sawa. In your lineup, kama umeperform the best, unapewa number 1, number 2, number 3, and so forth. Sasa you get trophies. Sawa sawa. Then apart from you getting trophies, we also have trophies or rewards for the best driver. We also get a reward for the driver of the day. You know, kuna yule ambaye anachangamsha crowd like for example,
amechangamka.
kuna mtu akiingia na gari yake, everybody says ndio hiyo Manish, ndio hiyo
No
Kazon.
matter how much hata kuwa number 1 or 2.
Sorry, come again.
No matter how much the car will not be number 1 or 2, alibamba crowd.
Lazima alifurahisha crowd.
Kuna watoto for example, kuna kijana anacheza na Suzuki wa mtu anaitwa Ford that is very young. There's a kijana mwingine pia anacheza na Prado a J95, kijana mdogo sana. Hao vijana, what happens, wana psych up crowd. Akiingia kila mtu anapiga nduru, ndio huyo mtoto anaendesha gari. Kuna huyu mtoto mwingine pia tunacheza na yeye anaitwa Munene. You remember the story, yule wa Mount Elgon, unamkumbuka?
Yes.
Huyo kijana, when huyo kijana amekuja, everybody screams, ndio huyo mtoto anaendesha Range Rover, ndio huyo mtoto anaendesha Suzuki, anaendesha J95 Prado. So unapata kuna huyo dereva akiingia, there's a driver, kuna huyu dereva pia anakuja, kila mtu ana scream. Huyo driver, you want to be identified with him, unaenda unapiga selfie na yeye. So huyo driver anapata driver of the day, sawa, kwa sababu huyo driver ameweza kusaik up crowd. Ni sawa. Haya, something else, unaona gari imeingia kwa obstacle, inang'eng'ana kabisa. I'll tell you the latest event we had, the Unimog. Maybe utaonyesha hiyo video. Tulikuwa na Unimog ya Mr. Kanyari. What happened with the Unimog? Gari zote zilikuja zika struggle hapo, and zili kabisa, but the challenge here was watu walianza kubet hiyo Unimog haitatoka kwa hiyo shimo. So people even came to me, nikawaambia hiyo gari itatoka kwa hiyo shimo. So watu wanasema haitatoka, watu wakakuja wakaniambia let's bet. Mimi nikakataa kubet. In fact, there are so many people like Mr. Animal Taimo from Mount Kenya Offroaders alikuja akaniambia to bet. We had someone like Mungai. In fact, kama ningebet ningekuja nyumbani na 10,000 shillings. That Unimog you see there, unaniona hapo nikiwa nimesimama, that is me there. Hiyo Unimog unaona ikicheza hapo, watu walisema haitatoka. People said hiyo Unimog haitatoka hapo. That was a very bad place. Umeona vile inang'eng'ana. You can see me hapo kwa side So in this case, unaona hao walikuwa wanasema, in fact this is my friend pia aliniambia, Josepeter, let's bet, I'm going to give you like 1,000 bob.
His name is Amo. He's a very good guy.
It's a very good car.
Yeah.
It's a very good, huyu ni spectator mkali sana. Hao ni wale die hard wa 4x4. Unaona?
Yeah.
In this case, unaona watu kama hawa wanasema hiyo gari haitatoka, mwingine anasema itatoka. So unaona the challenges here, this kind of a car inang'eng'ana and people bet and people know that hiyo gari haitatoka. So they get the best driver mwenye amepsych up the crowd. So like here Mr. Kanyari, in fact Mr. Kanyari took the first position as far as I'm concerned, and alipata the driver of the day kwa sababu alifanya kila mtu a scream. Wakati hiyo gari ilitoka hapo, unaiona kila mtu aliscream and everybody was Mr. Kanyari, Unimog, you're getting. There's also another one ingine inaitwa the Bigfoot and Team Tropical and what have you. Hizi zote unaona
the Suzuki, that's the Suzuki.
Sorry, that's a Suzuki.
That's the Suzuki you are talking about.
Yeah, sorry, come again.
That is the Suzuki that you are talking about.
Yeah.
Not this one. The other video that he had put.
Yeah, this one is being played by someone called Monkey.
Monkey is a good driver.
Yeah, this is Mr. Monkey. He plays with that is an FJ Cruiser. He was also playing in the expert category. Unaona hapo, utaona vile atang'eng'ana and watu wana psych up. Sawa. So it all depends on how utasaiko watu. Unaweza pata award ya the best driver of the day, maybe mwenye unaona, that is a Rizwan with his FJ Cruiser, we call it the Bigfoot. Unaona huko tumeondoa watu, hakuna spectators huku kando. Unaona, apart from me mwenye ninateremka. Si umeona? So spectators wako nyuma. So safety inakuanga very key. Sawa sawa. So
Yes.
the question was about the awarding and how people get easy awards, ndio? So
Yes.
trophies zikiawadiwa unapewa number 1, 2, 3 in the beginner, in the intermediate, in the expert category. Kuna hiyo special, like for example we have a special category whereby unapata kuna mtu ako disabled na anacheza na gari, sawa sawa, huyo pia tunampatia award. Unapatanga pia kuna junior category, kuna wale watoto wanakuja wanacheza. Pia unapata kuna wale wanakuja na zile tunaitwa quad bike. Pia quad bike iko na kategori yake, tunapata the best driver, the best mwenye aliweza kukimbia. Tuko na pia zile zingine tunacheza nazo pia huko kwa fields za kukimbia, tunaziita bagi. Pia wenye wanakuja na bagi pia hao wanapata trophies zao as the best drivers or the fastest driver. Ni sawa sawa. So yes, you can see that is a quad bike. That quad bike was a very good performer. Unapata anapata pia challenges. Now unapata kuna wale walikuwa wanashindwa kupita hapo, but huyu wa quad bike anakuja anapita. The crowd goes
remember
loud.
it was the first one.
See, yes, you've seen the quad bike, eh?
Yeah,
Now hata hiyo Range Rover iendelee kucheza, let me show our people. Unaona ina struggle kupita, unaona ina struggle kupanda hapo, and this Range Rover is very fast. It has a V8 engine, eh? And big up to the 13 Queens garage, by the way, it belongs to them, wanafanya kazi nzuri. And wakati gari zote zimeshindwa kupenya hapo, moja tu ipenye, kila mtu anaenda wild. You can see our people whatever they were doing there. So awards zinapeanwa kulingana na the category na kulingana kama umeshinda, kama umesake up crowd, if you have taken the day as the best driver, and yes. Yes, that is how awards are given.
Very well, very well. Shmateo, let me ask you a question also. Shmateo? You seem very interested with the 4x4 challenges, these big cars. Do you think one day you'll be on the track?
Yes, even I look forward for Kibaranyaki nione kama nitaingia track.
I dare you. I dare you.
You dare me. You dare me.
You dare the small man.
You know what we'll do, eh? For the Kibaranyaki, you know, for hiyo ya nini, it will be about planting trees, eh? I dare you to come to Charana, all right? I dare you to come to Champagne Park and get your vehicle into the main challenge. Unajua kuna challenge na kuna drive, eh?
Yeah.
I tell you, I dare you.
Haina shida, Charana iko hapa, I'll do practice.
Exactly.
You dare me, sawa.
I really dare you. You see, when I take people for drives in Offroad Explorers, nakuanga na two routes, I have the daredevils like me, and I have the normal vehicle. Ukikuja tuenanishe pamoja in our drive, what I do, tunatumia bara moja, but ukiingia kwa obstacle, kuna wale wanaingia kwa obstacle kama mimi, sawa? Lakini kuna wale hawataki kuuza gari zao, nawaambia piteni kando. You're getting my point, eh? So yes. I want to dare you to come and see other experience the big challenge. Yeah. It is not a joke. Yes. This challenge
challenge.
Perfect. And I want to see you do it. It will be amazing, I tell you. I also want to challenge anybody outside there.
Makbul. Yes. Makbul ile Prado. We were challenging you, Makbul. You are Prado.
Mimi wa gari ndogo, bro.
Makbul the Prado.
Yeah. My Prado cannot go like that.
No,
challenge.
No, easy vitu ni very interesting, eh?
Yeah.
Do you know what happened? Do you know what I did some time back, eh? I had someone who had a 70 series Land Cruiser, eh? And he works with my car. It's called my car garage, eh? So This guy was so much afraid of getting his Land Cruiser kwa challenge. It was actually a very good drive. Remember, it was in Gong Hills. So jamaa akaingia tu mara moja. Wakati aliingiza tu kichwa kwa track hivi, adrenaline ikacharge, ikapanda. So all the challenges ni yeye alikuwa anatuongoza. You are getting. So
yes.
trust me, Mateo, you'll find yourself ukiingia expert category na hiyo gari yako.
Lazima.
Yeah, kabisa.
Yeah, I can see people are saying we should go for Champagne Park. Yeah, from Vedic. Thanks so much. Your challenge. So I think now tunapaswa kuwa tuki-finalize now because we have taken almost a full hour. We should be now finalizing on
I think I asked one question, Shmateo. I think I asked one question, you ask another, and then the crowd will ask the final question.
Yes, now people who are commenting there, I can see you have received over 10 comments right now. So guys, I would like you
can answer like 3 of them.
Yeah, so I think these ones are not much of so I can see people are saying Shmateo end on a 79 series. We are getting a love and fire from Rispa there. Kabaki HD, remember guys to subscribe on his YouTube channel too. And Vedic, same, subscribe to his channel. We already answered Brian Monene's question. What if you want to join the competition? What's the qualification? I think you already referred to that question. Yes, and yeah, that's all. And he replied, thank you, well answered. So, yes, I think those were the questions that people are asking. I think, Makbul, you can ask your last question so that we can be able now to finalize on the live.
My last question to Mr. Josepeter.
Yes.
I'm asking, since I've never been to these events, I've never come to any 4x4 challenge. I want you to promise me that utanishika mkono nikikuja.
You're so much welcome. I'm going to tell you this, nimeleta watu wengi sana kwa offroad, na siachiliangi watu wangu. In fact, if you come to Offroad Explorers, utajionea ninakwanga nimeshika watu mkono, and I'm going to
hata mimi usinisahau.
I cannot forget. Shmateo amefanyia kazi kali sana. The videos, I'm telling you, in fact, kuna ingine alichukua na drone, it was very nice. But to your question, umesema nisikuachilie. So vile naweza sema ni kwamba I usually train people, watu wanataka kutrainiwa mambo ya 4x4, wananitafuta, wananipigia. Unaona kama hiyo, that is the track we have to make. Kwa sababu kuna watu wanakuja na buggies, wanataka kuparticipate na buggies. So what we did, tunaenda kwa track, hao watu tunashikana nao, tunaenda kwa track and we make proper track kulingana na guidelines za motorsport. Ni sawa sawa? So in this case, kuna mtu akitaka kujoin in, mtu akitaka kuparticipate, all you just need to do, chukua hiyo simu yako, nitafute, tujue vile tunaweza. Mr. Shmateo, am I allowed to share my number on this forum?
Yeah, if it's okay with you, we can share your number. I would like kindly if you read it to me right now so that we can share the number right now.
Oh, okay, great. 0721
0721
54
54
34 32
34 32. Sorry. Okay, so 0721 54
34 32.
Ebu, kindly repeat the number again.
0721 54 34 32. 54 34 32.
Yes. I think you should be able right now to be seeing it. Just a second. Yeah, if you can continue, I'm going to screen it. Yeah.
Okay. So
is it that one?
Yes, that's my number. 0721 54 34 32. Yeah, that's my number. So in this case, I always recruit people. And again, I always challenge people. When there's an off-road drive, join that off-road drive. What happens? You will end up gaining some experience with any vehicle that you have. When I say any vehicle, you can use a Vitz, you can use a Prado, you can use a Land Cruiser. Sawa sawa. When you come to Offroad Explorers, I have accommodated every person. Niko na, when I do a drive, as I told you, natengeneza track mara mbili. Niko na track, hautaingia kwa challenge, unaweza drive past that challenge. Sawa sawa. So ninakuwa niko na gari ndogo two wheel, akina Nissan AD, akina Probox, akina Rakis. You see those small vehicles. Niko pia na watu wa motorbike. All these people siwaachangi. Ni sawa sawa. So I always accommodate all these people. So even you, when you come, you will feel accommodated, you will feel appreciated, and we love everybody. We take everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, and big ups to our one and only director Gato and our director Ali Minsri. And guys, there's a short thing to say. Hey, comments zinakuja. Okay, so I have a comment to Josepeter from Brian, and he's saying, cheers a lot to Josepeter crew for encouraging young men like us and also preserving the environment of planting trees.
Nice.
Yeah, from Monene, thank you so much. We are big ups to you where you are. Tunajua mali uko, asante sana. Salute you. And
big up,
yeah, big up. Yeah.
So the final question is to you, Haji Shmateo. You have more
okay, let's
comments?
just go. Okay, leave Josepeter's contact below. So Josepeter, this person called Vedic Youngin, they have a movement called the CGG movement. They usually take cars to tracks, and they like a bit of off-roading with Prados and stuff. So maybe I think I'm going to put the number below down there so that he can get your number and be able to communicate something. Okay, so Tenga, you had this question. Mr. Josepeter kindly refer to it, but I think you saw it to the video. If a truck gets stuck, or do they tow it? I can answer this for you. Yes, the truck is towed. Yeah, I think if you go check on my videos, you'll see the Unimog, Mr. Josepeter asking for the Unimog to come and pull out the vehicle. Yes, now I think there are no more comments for us to go. Again from Tenganau, thanks Shmateo, Josepeter, and Makbul for this wonderful vlog.
Hola.
Yeah, so again, the number is here for those who have not been able to get the number. We are going to give you like 2 minutes. Yes. So Kylie, bye-bye. Let's end the live session. Tonane.
Cheers.
Like, share, and subscribe to Makbul Vlogs. Josepeter, thanks so much for this time. Shmateo, asante pia. Peace.
Asante sana.